My name's Kit Downs. I'm an organist and pianist and composer, and I'm from London. And I'm here playing Shiva's piece O, which is brilliant, and it's got a big middle section which is completely improvised between myself on organ and Shiva playing turntables. This is the first time that I've improvised in an orchestral context, because I'm more from a different sphere of music, so it's a new and exciting thing for me. Nice to be given the freedom to do whatever I want, especially on such a brilliant instrument as the one behind me.
We had a mutual friend, and I was putting on a concert, and my friend suggested Kit take part because this venue had an amazing organ. So initially, we first collaborated when I asked Kit to play in a composition of mine, and that went really well, and he improvised throughout that. And then about a year later, we decided to improvise together for the first time. So we hadn't actually performed together before. And it was the first time we ever played together was live for BBC Radio 3 in concert. So we'd never even practiced together, we'd never even rehearsed or discussed how we're going to do it or what sound world we're going to do. We just got on stage for this concert and improvised together for the first time. And then from then on in, we've done a few other performances in the same vein where we don't really plan what we're doing, we just improvise and see where it goes. And I think it's one of my favourite aspects of my work is improvising with Kit.
I've been here for 2 days, so I think I know Shiva's piece pretty well now, and I'm sure subliminally little motifs end up in the improvisation. But I think the way that you've written it, right, is that it's a real break from the piece when we come in. So it's just like this burst of new material, and it's not like cyclic cell sort of, it's like train of thought improvisation. So it's, I'm imagining it's meant to be like this sort of wash of just new ideas coming out very fast. There's a real break from the concept that's happened so far.
Yeah, the idea is that it's meant to be a complete perspective shift from the rest of the orchestral material. So all of a sudden, in the middle of the piece, Kit and I improvise, and it's a detour. So we're taking you on a little detour away from the piece and around the piece and thinking about the piece, but then somewhere different, a different perspective, and then bringing it back to the orchestra and giving it back to the orchestra. A lot of my ideas for my composition O came from my turntabling improvisations. In fact, most of the inspiration for how to structure it, how to deconstruct the orchestra, how to develop the sounds, all came from my improvising.
It's rare that I find someone to improvise with where you really don't need to say very much, and it just seems to, you make similar decisions or decisions that complement each other. So even if you go for completely opposite things, both people are so strong in their intention that it works side by side. And then sometimes you go for the same thing, and it feels very, very easy and very natural. Maybe because Shiva's a composer, so it feels like everything is structured in very nice ways, and no decision is seen as a bad decision. It's just you've got to follow the line of logic through to the end, and then that ends up somewhere else. And I think there's, for improvisation, maybe for both of us, it's like quite a cathartic way of just getting out all these ideas in a very sort of quick amount of time, in a way.
Yeah.
And doing it together, it's nice. You sort of pull an idea out of the other one, and the other one feeds you a new idea. And there's a great tradition on organ for improvising. There's a big French tradition that's still taught. But in England it doesn't happen so much now. This tradition of like taking a psalm chant or a hymn tune and then arranging it on the spot in different ways. And that sort of form of improvisation is how I grew up playing when I was a kid. And then I found sort of jazz music, and then from there lots of other different stuff. And then that's sort of where I've ended up coming back to at the end. I think if you worry too much about the end goal, you mess up the whole process.
I think, yeah, if we try to actually consciously think about what we wanted to achieve, I think it wouldn't really work. I have no idea what it's going to be like, and I don't want to foresee. Yeah.
It was nice just then being able to play it for the first time in front of the orchestra, and then knowing that it would be quite different on the gig. I think that's quite. I get a kick out of that stuff.